Hi everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to make a paper fish using a paper roll. So if you don't have this size, you can just use maybe a paper towel roll and kind of cut it into maybe 2 or 3 sections. You can even make them different sizes so that you could have different size fish, and that could be kind of interesting. You can of course make a whole collection of these. So the first thing I did is just kind of measure out how big a piece of paper I'd need to wrap around the paper roll. You could, of course, skip this step if you have some paint and just paint directly on the tube, but I'm going to use markers, so I wanted to create a little paper to go around it. So first thing you want to do is figure out what kind of fish design you want to have. I'm just doing something kind of simple for my imagination. If you want to look at some real fish, you could always check some pictures of fish and see if there's a particular pattern you like that you maybe want to draw. But you can do this and really any way you want. You can make this a very imaginative fish with any shapes or symbols or colors or rainbows or anything you like on there. So the next step is to get this piece of paper I made wrapped around that paper roll. You can use a glue stick, of course, or regular glue, anything you've got on hand. And as far as paper, you can use whatever paper you want. I'm just using a piece of computer paper that I had handy. Go ahead and attach it to your roll and make sure that you push down so that it's really stuck on there. And I like to just kind of push and hold the paper for a moment before I let go. If you could see, I just kind of squished it down a little gently there. And what I'm going to do next is basically cut out the shape of the fish. And there's only a couple of cuts. There's 4 cuts in total. So first thing I'm going to do is just go up towards that corner. And if this is going to be my fish's head, so I want to cut towards that part there and then cut off another little triangle on the other side. So there's my head. And for the next step, I'm going to cut out the tail. So I'm going to just cut out another little triangle shape here from middle of the body, and then from the very corner, I'm just going to go back up to meet that, and then I pull that little triangle out, and there is 1/2 of my tail. It's pretty simple, right? So we're going to flip it around, and we just do the same thing on the other side, cut out another little triangle, and you now have a pretty cool fish that's kind of a little 3D. So what I want to do now is figure out some of the extra things that I'm going to add on here. I'm going to make some eyes and a couple of fins. And if you've got googly eyes, you could always use those. You can add all kinds of extra stuff on here if you want to. If you've got some little sequins and you want to make them shiny, or you have some little stickers you want to put on them, you can do that. That's all up to you. You can get very creative with this. So I drew out 2 eyes. I'm going to go ahead and cut those out, and then I'm just going to color in my fins so they kind of make sense with my fish's body. I folded a piece of paper in half and cut out the shape once, so I had matching shapes. So I'm gluing my eyes onto each side of the fish, and then I put on the fins. I'm not gluing down the whole thing, just the top part, so it kind of sticks out a little bit. I drew a mouth on him, and the next thing I'm going to do is just take some string and make a little hanger so that I can kind of hang them up as a decoration. And if you have, like I said, more than one roll, you can make a little collection of fish, maybe make a little drawing or painting of water behind them so it looks like they're swimming in the ocean, or maybe inside of a fish tank. And you can get really creative with all of those little different creations that you make. I just knotted it twice, going through the middle opening there, and I'm going to make a knot at the top just so I've got a little loop that I can hang the fish from if I want to maybe put him up somewhere so that he can hang off of a hook or something like that. I'll really look forward to seeing some of the little creations that you might come up with using this, and maybe seeing some extra big fish from larger paper rolls that you can find. And you can keep an eye out. There might be all kinds of little supplies that might have gone in the recycling bin or the trash that you could use to add little parts to these kinds of creatures. So use your imagination. And don't throw things away straight away, because you might find something else that you can do with it.